Hello and namaste. Welcome to this week's class. It is September 15th. So we're right in the middle of September and we're working towards the equinox, which is next week. And so our intention for our class today is one of slowing down and finding pure presence. So I'm going to give you a couple of options. You can stay seated if you prefer to be seated. Otherwise, we're going to lay on your belly for some grounding. And so we're going to go into Makrasana or arrow pose. So Makrasana is with your grabbing opposite elbows and allowing your forehead to rest on your arms, or arrow pose is laying on your belly with your palms together and extending your arms long. So choose which one best suits your body and what you're feeling today, but both of them will give you that grounding of being able to feel the earth as you breathe into your belly. And we really want that grounding, that earth element in our practice today to help us begin to slow down and begin that drawing inwards as we move into the autumn equinox. So take your posture, again, either laying on your belly, with arms extended, or resting forehead on your forearms. So Makrasana like this, or arrow pose with forehead resting down. So taking a couple of breaths here and just beginning to really breathe into the belly. And these are great poses. Both of these are great poses to be able to feel that sensation of belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, as the belly presses into the earth. And also that sense of grounding, that sense of being supported. So nice, slow breaths as we begin to settle into a slower frequency. The earth, out of all of the 5 elements, has the slowest frequency, so that grounding, slowing down. And then take a moment as you breathe into your belly to just notice how you are meeting this moment. So do you feel frantic as you came to your mat, or grounded? Did you land on your mat with a sense of scarcity, not enough time, not enough anything, or a sense of abundance? Did you arrive in this moment with a sense of worry or a sense of wonder? So breathe in fully, and with an exhale, let a deep sigh release. Inhale, fill the lungs fully and completely without straining. And as you exhale, purse your lips with a prolonged, steady stream of air leaving the body. Let's do that again. Inhale fully without straining. And then purse the lips. Slowing down the breath into slow, steady stream. Inhale fully again. And as you exhale through pursed lips, empty the mind of all anticipation and the body of all tensions. And begin to allow yourself to arrive in this space of silent awareness where doing stops. Just a few more breaths like this. And perhaps you can use this next intention as your mantra or your intention, or you may set another intention for yourself. But the one I am using is I connect to my own source of calm awareness. I connect to my own source of calm awareness. 3 more belly breaths here. As you complete your 3 belly breaths, slowly slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Open your eyes and slowly lift up in just the lowest of baby cobras. And release down. Take another inhale and exhale back into child's pose. Bringing your awareness of the breath into the back body. And the back body represents the subconscious part of us. So as we draw inwards, we begin to connect with that subconscious in our back body. Nice big breaths here. And then let's inhale, rise up into tabletop. Just moving through a couple of rounds of cat-cow. Hopefully that's not affecting the microphone. So slowing down your breath, we're going to move into counting our breath. But right now, let's just look for a balanced breath. So inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 4. I'll count that out for you on this next breath. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Do one more round on your own. And this time as you exhale, curl your toes under and take 4 counts to arrive in downward facing dog. Letting the posture unfurl slowly for you. And then take a few breaths to find all the little kinks in your body, in your down dog, pressing the top of the mat away from you. Maybe getting into the side body, bending your knees deeply. And taking one more breath in your downward facing dog. And then walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Let your heart float up on an inhale. And as you exhale, bow down. Do that again. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, bow down. One last time like this. Inhale. Lengthen through the spine, extend, lift the heart. Exhale, belly draws in. We bow down, release the neck. And this time bend the knees, press into the earth. Circle wide, reach up high to the sky as though you can touch the sky. And draw your hands into your heart center. So we're going to work a little bit just with half sun salutations. So inhale, reach up, touch the sky. And as we exhale, fold and release what needs to fall away. Inhale, lift halfway and remember all the positive things in your life at this point in time. And exhale, fold. Press into both feet, bend your knees slightly. Circle wide, reach up, touch the sky. We're going to continue 2 more like this. Exhale, fold. Release, let go, let things just fall away. Inhale, lift your heart to all those things that are joyous in your life. And exhale, bow, the belly draws in, bend your knees, circle wide, reach high, touch the sky. Beautiful autumn sky. Exhale. Let everything release like those leaves on the trees that are releasing right now. Inhale. Look forward. Lift the heart to things to come. And exhale. Bow down. Press into the earth. Bend your knees. Circle wide. Reach up. Touch the sky. And this time draw your hands into your heart center. So we're going to just do a little drawing inwards and giving ourselves a hug. So bring your arms wide as you inhale, and as you exhale, right arm under left, wrap around. Inhale wide, and this time opposite, left arm under right, wrap around. So we're just going to do this a few times. And each time we do this, remember you're switching arms, which one's below. See if you can touch your shoulder blades as you wrap around. So this time as we wrap around, right arm is coming under left. Reach towards your shoulder blades, and if you can grab them like you're trying to pull them apart. Take an inhale, lift your heart. I hope I'm not covering my microphone here. Exhale. Fold forward and hold onto that stance. Release your head towards the earth. You can even close your eyes here as we draw inwards into yourself. And then slow inhale. Come all the way up. Release your arms, left arm under right this time. Wrapping around. Take an inhale, exhale, fold. Release your neck. Press into your feet. Draw inwards. Next inhale breath. Rise up and release your arms wide. Let your arms come down. Just take a moment to draw into that inner source of calm awareness. Maybe you even close your eyes here in mountain pose as we get ready to move forward. And then come to the top of your mat. Hopefully you have blocks that you can use for your practice today. If you do, bring your blocks to the top of your mat. So let's inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, bow down. Bring your hands to your blocks as you inhale. And lift your heart. And then as we exhale, keep your hands on your blocks. Just for fun, we're going to step back into downward facing dog. So it feels a little different with your hands on your blocks. And then inhale, come forward to plank pose. Again, with our upper body a little higher, you might find this a little easier. Take an inhale. Let's all lower our knees for this first one. And as we exhale, we're going to lower down, not all the way down to our belly, but just as though we're doing a chaturanga. And then press back up. Lift your knees and press back into downward facing dog. So we're going to use an 8-count exhale for a few of these poses that we are about to do. So we're going to start with right leg. Float that right foot up to the sky in 3-legged dog. Take a breath here and really extend to get nice and long. And then we're going to take 8 counts to draw our knee to the nose and step that foot up between our hands. Take an inhale as we exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step that foot up. Lower the back knee. And then we take 8 counts to reach up to the sky in our low lunge. So inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then let's just pause here. Let your exhale go. Take another inhale. And let the exhale bring you back down. Hands to your blocks. Lifting that back knee. Take an inhale here And as we exhale, we're going to step forward, but we're going to take 8 counts. So we're going to lean into that right foot, float that back foot up like a standing split, hands on your blocks. Take another inhale here, and exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really squeeze that thigh up, press your blocks away, step your foot down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise up, reach up to the sky. Touch the sky and draw into your heart. So we're really working to slow our breath down, and when we slow our exhale down, it helps us to slow down the nervous system and helps us to begin that drawing inward. So let's do our second side. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Touch the sky, exhale, bow down, release. Hands come to your blocks. Inhale, lift your heart and lengthen. And let's step back into downward facing dog. Hands on your blocks. Inhale, come forward to plank. And you can keep your knees up for this one if you wish, or I'm going to demonstrate dropping your knees. We're going to lower down, and then we're going to lift everything up into up dog. So lowering down, and then we press and lift up, and then back to downward facing dog. Let's float the left leg to the sky in three-legged dog. Take a nice stretch here, really lengthening it up. And now we're going to take 8 counts to draw knee to nose and step it up between our hands. Take a big inhale, reach it up. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step that foot up and lower the back knee. Take 8 counts to reach to the sky. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's pause, a little reaching up. Opening the heart here for another inhale. And then the exhale, the hands come down to your blocks, lifting the back knee, our little standing splits as we shift forward. And now 8 counts to draw that knee to nose. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw that thigh up and in and step it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise up. And draw into your heart center. Take a moment here. That thoughts of that inner calm awareness, your own source, as we slow things down. Okay, I'm going to give you option to either use your blocks again or remove your blocks as we move through our second round. Inhale, reach up, touch the sky. Exhale, fold forward, release down, hands to the floor, your shins or the blocks. As you inhale, lift the heart and lengthen. And exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank pose, knees up or down. Exhale to lower. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. So here we go. Right side this time. Inhale, right leg up. This time we're going to do a 4 count. So inhale, reach up. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Step that foot up between your blocks or your hands. Drop the back knee, 4 counts to reach to the sky. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here for your exhale. 1 more inhale and exhale. Hands come down. Lift the back knee, standing splits. Shifting forward on that right foot. And then straighten your arms if you've got hands on blocks. 4 counts to draw knee to nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze it in. Step that foot down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to blocks or shins. Exhale, fold, release down. Inhale, circle wide, reach up, touch that sky, and draw into your heart center. And let it go. Last one, our second side. Remember, we're doing a 4 count this time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow, release, belly draws in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog, either hands on your blocks or on your mat, your choice. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, knees up or down. Lower, chaturanga. And then lift everything up, up dog, or cobra pose. And exhale, down dog. Left leg floats up, 3-legged dog. So remember, we're going to do a 4 count of knee to nose. So inhale, reach up a little higher. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Step that foot up. Drop the back knee. 4 counts to reach up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay for your exhale. Take another inhale here as we lift the heart. And exhale, bring the hands down. Pressing into that front foot, lift the back knee. Float that right leg up. Standing splits. And then 4 counts, knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw that thigh up, lift it high. Step your foot down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow down. And inhale, rise up, reach up, touch the sky, and draw it into your heart. Pause for a couple of breaths here. And then look over your right shoulder, step your right foot back. Or you can do it to the left, however you can be facing your computer, into a wide stance here. And then we're just going to reach the arms up at a 45-degree angle coming into star pose. And we're just going to activate the chakras in your hands. I don't know if you can see my hands. So just opening and squeezing your hands as fast as you can do it. Pressing down into your feet, reaching your arms wide as we do this. And then stop, spread your fingers wide. Feel that energy, that activation flowing into the hands. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to turn our toes out. We're going to use a mudra here with our hands, so bringing the back of the hands to touch up above us. Take an inhale, reach up like your hands are an antenna to draw your intention. And as we exhale, we bend the knees, spin the fingers towards you, and then spin them out in front of you, opening your palms. So we're going to do that again. Go back up. Spin the hands towards you, the back of the hands, the fingertips towards your heart, and then reach it up. So we reach up like an antenna to the sky, to the universe, and then as we exhale, we spin and draw it to our heart. And open to receive, open to release, open to give. Let's bring it back into the heart. Spin your hands, reach it up. And exhale, spin and sink down closer to the earth. Release. Let's keep moving. We're going to do this a couple more times. Reach it up, lengthen up, and exhale, bend. Sink the root towards the earth. Open the hands, draw to your heart. Reach up to the sky. 2 more times. Moving with your breath. Inhaling as we reach up, exhaling as we sink and spin and open it up. Inhale, draw in, reach it up, and release your hands. Let's turn to look over your left shoulder. Spin your left toes to the top of your mat. And bend that front knee coming into warrior. We find our strength in our warrior, bravery, courage, and strength for our warrior two. Looking over your middle front fingers and sinking into the hips, but keeping shoulders over your hips. So not leaning too forward into the future, but staying present right in center. Find your breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And see if you can do a 4-count breath here. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. And I'll let you do your own count here, pressing down into both feet. Let's move into peaceful warrior on our next inhale. Your back hand can come down to your back thigh or to the small of the back. Maybe looking up, maybe looking straight ahead. Take one more breath here. And then straighten, come back with arms straight out to the side. We're going to move into triangle pose next. So inhale to reach, or you can bring that hand to your hip to create length in that left side. And exhale, release your hand down. Top arm reaches up to the sky. Now you can look to your front foot or you can look up to the sky. Looking to your foot is more grounding. And always option to reach overhead and create a little more space for our breath here. And then inhale, rise up. Let's turn both feet to the long side of our mat. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen, lift the heart. Exhale, begin to fold forward. Pause when your body becomes perpendicular to the floor and lengthen your hips, your sit bones out behind you, your forehead ahead of you. And then exhale, continue folding the rest of the way, tiny micro bend. Release your hands to your mat, to your big toes, or to your ankles or shins. Elbows out to the side. 3 breaths here. Equal count breath of inhale and exhale. Excuse me. That might be 4, might be 5, might be 6, whatever feels normal for you. We just want them to be even and balanced. And then we're going to walk our hands out in front of us as though we're in downward facing dog. So creating length, sending the sit bones straight out behind you and the hands in opposite directions. And then walk the hands back so they're just right under your face, straight arms. So your torso perpendicular to the earth. So you might have hands on blocks or on your fingertips here. Press strongly into both feet. Bring your hands to your hips. And inhale, come all the way up. Beautiful. Look over your right shoulder and turn your right foot to the back of your mat. And if you did opposite of me, we're switching it around for warrior 2 on our second side. So straightening the arms straight out, shoulders over hips. Remember, we want to stay in our present, not reaching to the future and not so far back that we're looking into the past. But right in center, right in the present. And both feet are pressing down, pressing down. Check in with your knee that it's over your ankle as you extend through your fingers, looking over that middle finger of your right hand. Finding your breath, see if you can equalize your breath. Maybe it's a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. One more round of breath here. And then your next inhale, we move into peaceful warrior. So just reaching the right hand up to the sky and leaning maybe a little bit back here as we create more length. Palm facing the earth, but reaching up and over. Keep sending that right knee to the front of your mat or to the top of your mat, whichever direction you're facing. Take one more breath here. And then come back into perpendicular arms, straightening the front leg for triangle. So inhaling to reach, lengthen, keep reaching, lengthening, and then let that hand come down. Top arm reaches up. Remember your options for gaze. Looking to your front foot to ground, or looking up to the sky. But either way, the left ribs are rolling up to the sky, so we want to make sure we're not reaching to get lower, and in the process, letting our chest move towards the earth. We want to open the heart up to the sky, open those left ribs up to the sky. Take one more breath here, and use the next inhale to come all the way up. Turn both toes to the long side of your mat once again. Take a moment's pause here. We're looking for that present moment awareness. Inhaling, exhaling, eyes open or closed. And then let's look over the left shoulder, pivot the left toes to the top of your mat. We're going to move into half moon pose. So hopefully you still have your blocks at the top of your mat. We're going to bend that front knee, reach the left hand to your block, just slightly ahead and to the outside of your little toe, and then shift forward, floating that right leg up, half moon pose. Options for your hand might be hand resting on your floating thigh, the outer hip. You might reach it up to the sky. And you might come into your bind. Any of those options is appropriate. Whoa! And you might fall over. We're in our present moment. Whatever is, is. And some of you, you might even have that right hand on your block to support you, give you a little bit more support. Taking one more breath here. And then do bring that right hand down if it's up. Bend your standing leg. Step that back foot to the back of your mat. Let's step it back to downward facing dog. Take a breath or two here. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe you want to come forward to plank and flow. Lowering down either chaturanga or through knees, chin, chest. Again, any of them are appropriate. Cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling back. Downward facing dog. Let's step up to the top of our mat. Whoops. Come into Malasana. Don't worry, we are doing second side. Just come into Malasana for a moment. Let the root move towards the earth. Hands at your heart center, pressing elbows into your knees and knees into elbows. Lift your heart a little higher. Some of you might take this opportunity to come into crow pose by bringing hands down, shifting the weight forward, knees onto your triceps, and maybe just playing with lifting one foot or the other, or lifting both. Some of us are going to stay in Malasana for a couple more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. And then let's bring hands to the mat. Lift the hips up to the sky. Sit bones reach up, coming into forward fold, Uttanasana. And let's step the left foot to the back of the mat. Pivoting that foot down. Hand to your block, right hand to your block. The block just outside and ahead of that right baby toe. And then shifting forward into a half moon pose on our second side. And same variations that I offered you on the first side. Whoops. You might have hand on your hip, maybe reaching up, or maybe coming into your bind. And this is a beautiful expression of strength and balance as we move from these long days into longer nights with a little more awareness. Take one more breath here. Bend your standing knee, bring your left hand down. Gently, gracefully step that left foot to the back of your mat. Step it back, downward facing dog. You can take a flow here if you wish. You can stay in down dog. Some of you may take opportunity for a child's pose here. So just take whatever is calling to you in this present moment. And we're all going to meet back in downward facing dog. And we're going to do something a little bit different here now. So we're going to bring that left foot, we're going to bend both your right knee, bring that left ankle to your right knee. So it's like you're sitting in a chair with your leg crossed. You might straighten that leg a little bit more. You might bend it as you push the top of the mat away from you, really getting into that left hip. And then we're going to take that left foot that's on our knee, and we're going to come forward onto our hands and extend that foot out into fallen triangle. Right now I've got both hands down on my mat, and my left leg is extended underneath me over to the right side. And I'm on the outside edge of my left foot. I'm going to actually move over a little bit because my foot's in the gravel. Now, you can keep both hands on your mat. Some of you might even lower into chaturanga. I'm not sure that I can actually do that. Nope. Some of you might open up into a fallen triangle variation of side plank. And then bring it back down. See if you can lift that foot, bring it back into downward facing dog. And let's all come into child's pose, give our wrists a break before we do our second side. Finding your breath. I know some of you might feel like having a flow and meeting us back, and that's fine to do as well. You can roll your wrists in child's pose if you wish. And then let's find downward facing dog. Let's do second side. So bending that left knee a little bit. Bring the right ankle to that knee. So this is kind of like thread the needle. Like you're sitting in a chair here. Opening that hip, either bending the left knee more or straightening it more. And now we're going to extend that right foot over to the left side. Slide it out like you're coming into a plank pose. So shoulders are over wrists. You might stay here. You might do a chaturanga push-up. And then you also have the option to open up into our fallen triangle. Hand comes down, lift that foot back into downward facing dog, and let's just stay here for one breath and then come to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, let's bring it up. Let's reach it up and draw into your heart. And just take a couple breaths in your mountain pose. Inhaling and exhaling here. And then we're going to come into that same shape that we did, that with our ankle on our knee. We did it in down dog. We're going to do it standing in a balance pose, bringing some balance into our practice here. So we'll start by standing on the left foot and then bringing right ankle to the left knee. You can have your hands at heart center. You can begin to sit down. So it's like a one-legged chair pose. You can also reach your arms wide or reach up to the sky as we would in chair pose. Find your breath here, maybe sinking lower, and then press, rise up, release, hands to your heart center. Take a couple breaths before we do second side. Maybe I'll turn to the side here. Find your center, find your breath, spread those right toes wide, and then sit down slightly, left ankle to the knee. My goodness, it is really windy in here, for reals. And yes, I am struggling with my balance. So option to keep your hands at heart center in your one-legged chair. Reach them out to the side if you're struggling with balance, or reach up to the sky. Find your breath, find your balance, find your center. Whoops. One more breath. And then press, release, hands through heart center. And let your hands come down to your sides. Take a moment's pause. And we're going to move into lizard pose next. So have your blocks handy if you like to use them for lizard. So let's inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Walk that left foot, your front foot, out to the side a little bit. This is where you might use your blocks. And it's nice to stack them and bring forearms to the block. Some of you are going to bring forearms all the way down to the mat, or maybe just one block. And we're going to move that back knee up and down here. So as you inhale, drop your back knee to the mat and look forward. As you exhale, lift the knee and look towards your belly button or your back foot. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, drop the knee, look forward. Exhale, look towards your back foot, belly button, lift the knee 1 more time. Inhale, drop, lift the gaze. Exhale, lift the knee, drop the gaze. Beautiful. Let's drop that back knee. Walk it up. And I feel the need to come into twisted monkey. So let's start by first shifting the hips back, lifting the front toes, and coming into like half Hanumasana. Opening through the hamstrings. And then we're going to walk it forward. Sorry, I'm going to have my back to you. Lift the back foot. I've got something stuck to my toes. And you can stop right here. This might be where you go. And if you want to stop here, maybe you want to put a block on that back foot. Whoops. Some of us are going to bring left hand to the left knee and begin to press that knee away as we lift the heart and open the heart up, bringing a little bit of a back bend. Some of us are going to reach that left hand up to the sky, and some of us are going to reach to that back foot. You get to choose which variation of this pose feels best for you today. Breathe all the way into the low belly. Draw the belly in as you exhale. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, bring that left hand down. Slowly, gracefully release that back foot down to the mat. Let's walk back into half Hanumasana one more time. Some of you, instead of half Hanumasana, you might move into a variation of Hanumasana. Working towards it, hands on blocks here. And then slide it back. Whoops. And let's find our way into downward facing dog. Let's float the right leg to the sky in three-legged dog. And as we exhale, let's step that foot up between our hands for second side. Walking that foot out to the side. And then finding where your forearms are going to land on block, 2 blocks, mat, or even straight arms. And then let's start that variation that we did. Looking forward with the knee lifted as we inhale. Whoops, I think I got that backwards. Drop your knee. Look forward as you inhale. And as you exhale, lift the knee, drop your gaze towards your back foot. Inhale, lift the gaze, drop the knee. Exhale, drop the gaze, lift the knee. One more time. Inhale, drop the knee, lift the gaze. And last one, exhale, lift the knee, look towards your back foot. And then go ahead and drop your knee. Walk it up. And let's press back half Hanumasana. Lifting those right toes. Pressing into that heel. And then walk it up again. Bend the back knee. And maybe you just stay here. And we're pressing the top of the knee, past the knee, into the mat here. So you're not on your kneecap. And now maybe you bring your hand to your right knee and press the knee as you open and maybe look up to the sky. So we're lifting and opening and maybe reaching up, maybe reaching back. Take any of those stops along the way. But stay lifted in that bottom shoulder. Don't sink into that bottom shoulder. Press it up and away. Maybe even leaning back a little bit, depending what's going on in your body today. Taking one more breath. And then hand releases down. Slowly bring that foot down. Let's shift back half Hanumasana again. And also option for some of you to slide it into full splits, Hanumasana. And then wherever you're at, let's find our way back into downward facing dog. There's really no graceful way to get out of that pose. Let's lift it up. So last opportunity for a flow here. If you wish to flow, go for it. Otherwise, we're going to come down to our knees. And if you're flowing, you can drop down to your knees when you are done your flow. And you can sit down. For some of you, this is a really easy pose to just sit on your heels. My ankles do not like when I do that. So I'm going to sit on a block, and you might even sit on 2 blocks. That feels much better. So bring hands to your thighs here. And we're going to press into our thighs and work with our breath, kind of like child's pose, or not child's pose, kind of like cat-cow. So press your thighs away and draw into yourself as you exhale. And then draw your thighs towards you and lift your heart as you inhale. So press away with the hands as you exhale, draw your belly in. And inhale, draw the thighs back as you lift your heart and draw your elbows back and really open through the heart. Exhale, opposite. Inhale, draw your hands towards your belly, draw your thighs towards your belly, really lift your heart. It gives you leverage here. And exhale, push it away. Draw your belly in. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And then come forward. If you're on blocks, you can remove your blocks. Let your feet come out in front of you for Paschimottanasana. So toes are pointing up to the sky. Take an inhale, lengthen through your spine. And let's just do this for the heck of it. Bring a block into your belly. No, that's not going to work. Too big. If you have a small bolster, you can bring a bolster here as you lean forward. I'm going to pretend my hands are a bolster. As you lean forward, and this brings some pressure into the belly. And this posture begins to calm the nervous system and allow you to literally turn inwards to yourself. You can release your hands or your bolster if you wish to fold forward a little bit more. But it just helps to scoop out the belly to make space as we do our forward folds, Paschimottanasana. And as you come into your forward fold with eyes closed, begin to find that pure presence and connect to that source of calm awareness inside. And then slowly find your way back up. Pause here with more space for your breath. And then lying down on your back, you might want socks, sweaters, whatever. It's quite chilly where I'm practicing today. So find whatever you need to be comfortable as you lie back. And as you lie back, draw your knees in towards your chest, hands on your kneecaps, and let's just circle the knees using your hands to make circles. Your legs are together and we're just circling together. And go in the opposite direction. And then bring your knees wide, your feet are touching, reach your hands towards your feet. So if you can't reach, this is like Baddha Konasana that we usually do sitting. But if you can't reach your feet, grab your ankles and try to keep the soles of your feet together and press the knees away from one another. Whatever works for you to grab onto. And then keep holding onto your right foot. Release that left foot down to the mat, knee bent. And bring that right foot into a happy baby shape. So the knee is moving towards the earth. My shin is perpendicular to the earth and hand on the sole of the foot. So I'm drawing that knee towards earth or drawing my thigh towards the earth. And my foot is parallel to the earth. My shin is perpendicular to the earth. And my ankle is pretty much over my knee. So that's the action, that's the direction that we're moving. And now you might keep that left leg straight, or you might begin to straighten it, and maybe you just hover it here. And then maybe you very slowly release the heel down and keep pressing the thigh down as though there's a weight on your thigh. If this feels like too much, come back to the first variation of that knee bent sole of the foot on your mat. Nice breath here. Releasing whatever needs to be released. Let your leaves go. Whatever needs to compost. And then slide that left foot back to the mat, left knee bent. Release the right foot down. Pause with both feet down on the mat here. Come back to your present moment awareness. Notice what is. And then let's draw that left foot into the half happy baby shape. So foot, sole of the foot parallel to the earth. Shin perpendicular, ankle over knee. And then I'm drawing the knee towards the earth. So this right leg might stay right where it is, knee bent. And let's all keep that knee bent for just a little while we open on this left side. And then if you decide to straighten right leg and hover it, you can do that, but you don't have to. And you might even bring that heel all the way down, which is a little more opening. And again, come back to the next variation if wherever you're at is too much. If you've got that right leg straight, keep actively pressing the thigh down towards the earth like there's an elephant standing on your thigh. Let go of those leaves that are turning, that are ready to drop. Let them compost for next year's growth. And then let's bend that right knee, bring the sole of the foot back to the mat, release your left foot so both soles of the feet come to the earth, come to your mat. Just take a breath or two. Again, let whatever is be is. Feel your sacrum heavy on the earth. Spread your arms wide, straight out to the side. And either keeping your feet parallel hip width or crossing left thigh over right, we're allowing our knees either way, they're going to drop towards the right side. You choose what is the best variation for you today. And if you've crossed your thighs and it feels like too much, just stack your knees. Just uncross and stack. Slowly, with an inhale, bring knees back to center. Take a pause here in center. And if you crossed on one side, go ahead and cross right leg over left. And then let the knees drop, either stacking your knees or keeping your legs crossed. You can look to the right. Let your breath slow down. Maybe you bring back the count here to even out the inhale and the exhale. And your next inhale brings you to center. Take that moment, pause, let the sacrum feel heavy. Let your breath slow even more. And then straighten one leg, straighten the other leg. Bring your arms maybe down slightly. And begin to let go as you move into Shavasana. Shavasana is also translated as corpse pose, where we get to practice the letting go of this life as we know it. Letting go, releasing, composting. And then it allows us our rebirth at the end of Shavasana. As we come back into the world different than we were before we started our class. If you're feeling wonderful right where you are, stay in Shavasana for a few more minutes. Or you can begin to make your way up to a seat, pausing in fetal position on the way, slowly bringing yourself back to life. If you've decided to stay in Shavasana, stay there. But let's all together take a moment to just tune in and how you are meeting this moment. Tuning in the same way we began class, so we end class. Check in if you are able to feel a little more settled into that lower frequency, that earth frequency, that slowing down. Perhaps if you felt frantic at the beginning of class, you can feel a little more grounded, a little less scarcity and a little more abundance. A little less worry and more wonder. And just take this moment of clarity, of knowing what is important to you, what has meaning. And just let that sit with you for the next few breaths. And then bring your hands to heart center. And I'm going to say namaste. Have an amazing rest of your day. See you next week.